Good evening, and welcome to the MediaSpeaks.com. I'm your host, DLAKE PREZ. Tonight, James Holmes was programmed to kill in Aurora, Colorado. The Batman shootings. The Dark Knight rises. James Holmes, the suspect. Wednesday, November 21st, Colorado inmate Stephen Unruh is having a hard time convincing anyone that he spent hours talking to Aurora Theater shooting suspect James Holmes shortly after his arrest last July. Jail officials say there's no way that Unruh could have had that kind of access. Yet certain elements of the story, which includes a description that resembles the head-banging routine that sent Holmes to the hospital last week. James Holmes, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to try to discredit my story, Unruh told Westword in a recent interview at the jail. But I was able to have a 4-hour talk with him. I talked him out of suicide. Unruh insists the sporadic conversation continued even after Holmes was moved to another cell in the area. He says that Holmes told him he felt like he was in a video game. He wasn't on his meds, and nobody would help him. He says Holmes also mentioned NLP, presumably neuro-linguistic programming, a much scorned and outmoded approach to psychotherapy, and claimed to have been programmed to kill by an evil therapist. Oh, well, this sounds also fantastical. Do they have all that? We've seen it in the movies. Well, when he got out of his car, he wasn't programmed no more, Unruh says. It sounded kind of crazy. He was trying to run it by me, basically. Okay, so this Unruh has a really sparkling vocabulary. James Egan Holmes, born December 13th, 1987, is the suspected perpetrator of a mass shooting that occurred on July 20th, 2012 at a movie theater in Aurora, Colorado. He had no known criminal record prior to the shooting. On May 22nd, 2012, Holmes purchased a Glock 22 pistol at a Grandier Mountain shop in Aurora, and 6 days later bought a Remington Model 870 shotgun at a Bass Pro Shops in Denver. On June 7th, just hours after failing his oral exam at the university, he purchased a Smith & Wesson M&P 15 semi-automatic rifle with a second Glock 22 pistol following on July 6th. All the weapons were bought legally. In the 4 months prior to the shooting, Holmes also bought 3,000 rounds of ammunition for the pistols, 3,000 rounds for the M&P 15, and 350 shells for the shotgun over the internet. On July 2nd, he placed an order for a Black Hawk Urban Assault Vest, 2 magazine holders, and a knife at an online retailer. Wow. Okay. This guy who says he's the Joker is getting suited up like Bane. Prior to May 22nd, do we have any evidence of him buying any guns and ammo magazines or going to any gun websites? Did he do any research to get all these specific weapons at specific places, all sporadically spread around his area? On June 25th, less than a month before the shooting, Holmes emailed an application to join a gun club in Byers, Colorado. The owner, Glenn Rotkovich, called him several times throughout the following days to invite him to a mandatory orientation, but could only reach his answering machine due to the nature of Holmes' voicemail, which he described as, quote, bizarre, freaky, guttural, spoken with a deep voice, incoherent, and rambling. Rotkovich instructed his staff to inform him if Holmes showed up, though Holmes neither appeared at the gun range nor called back. That's why I don't leave voice messages, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm guttural. I speak with a deep voice. Sometimes I am incoherent and I do ramble. So Rodkovich might not be willing to have me at his gun club. Well, in hindsight, looking back, and if I'd seen the movies, maybe I'd say it was like the Joker. I would have gotten the Joker out of it. It was like somebody was trying to be as weird as possible, Rodkovich said. Well, maybe he was trying to be weird. Is there something wrong with that? James Holmes' roommate or cellmate says that, he was out of his mind. And if you look at all the evidence, and if you look at the story that I covered, the Colorado shootings, the Batman shootings, ladies and gentlemen, go watch my video where I ask, where's the bullet holes? I'm a detective, like Batman. I don't settle for this Joker story and this prison talk and this prisoner talks. Is that guy going to be able to appear in court with this story, or is this some media garbage? I deal in real facts, I deal in real news. DLAKE for PREZ, themediaspeaks.com. Check out the URL, themediaspeaks.com.